perch, green sunfish, ripples and a ridge there. So of course they do that's the first color, that green pumpkin. I mean, this color is absolutely beautiful. Look, you can see I rigged that horizontally. What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. I have a box. You know what that means. It is the season. Black Friday deals are all over here. I made a huge order from Xzone a couple weeks ago, and that's, by golly, what we have today to talk about, because I'm really impressed with some of their plastics. A number of their plastics, some I just haven't used yet, but some of them I have really liked. So I'm going to take you through what I picked up, why I picked it up, some of the colors that I like, all of that. You know, I do all that good stuff here on the channel. So enough yapping, let's get into lures. Okay, let's start out with one of the hottest baits on the market right now. Of course, the Ned rig has taken everywhere by storm. It used to be called the Midwest Finesse rig, you know, here in the Midwest. A great way to catch some of those bass, you know, those pesky finesse bass when you've got the fish that won't bite, highly pressured. The Ned rig has absolutely taken over. So I picked up some of these. This is their 3-inch Ned Zone. This is a 3-inch kind of, you know, a stick-looking type bait. Let me take one out and show you here. That is what their 3-inch Ned Zone looks like. Now this color is called Perch. So you can see it's kind of that green pumpkinish with flake on top. The bottom's kind of that yellow-orange. This would be awesome for like a green sunfish imitation if you have those. And your lake bass are eating them, but that is it. You can see kind of, you know, just your regular standard skinny, you know, looking TRD type deal. Then at the back has got kind of a bulbous tail, and this kind of does a little bit of this action when you're, you know, bring it along. Awesome little Ned rig bait. I've had good luck on these. I haven't had a day where I've been able to catch fish only on this, but it's kind of been fish here and there. I've liked the action of it, and they work especially good with those weedless EWG Ned heads that I like to use so much. It's a good straight profile. You can put that hook on there weedless. It works really good. So I got the perch color. Beautiful color here called Bass Candy. I think this is a newer color for them. Again, that green, it's got like black, gold, purple flake. And you flip it over and it's kind of a whitish, creamish with like a purple iridescence in it. Really neat color. Always a staple here for me. This is green pumpkin blue candy. So you can see it's that green pumpkin with like that blue sapphire type flake in it. I grabbed a watermelon pearl. Pretty much just what it sounds like. Your watermelon black flake with that pearl belly. Some Violet Secret. Man, those things look awesome. Like a dark purpley with a brown bottom. I mean, that's PB&J. Put that on a little PB&J finesse jig. Ooh. Of course, the old summer craw, another good one that I throw here a lot. Your green pumpkin on the bottom. It's got that chartreuse black flake in it. Love that color. And last one that they call Smalley Magic. So you can see it's got that kind of watermelon-y green pumpkin on the top, and it's got like purple, green, and black flake up there in it, you can see. Then you flip it over and it's got kind of that pearly, almost a translucent belly on it. Very natural. I'm sure this would even look good on a drop shot if you want to drop shot it. But I tell you what, with that flat nose, it goes awesome on a Ned rig, especially those EWGs for bank fishing guys. Love those. Speaking of the daggum drop shot, it's a love-hate relationship with that rig. I know it catches fish. It's kind of fun to throw. I just hate retying everything. The weight, I lose weights, get it snagged in the hook, and I don't know. Anyway, I grabbed some of these. These are a little bit larger. I used their smaller size in a video. That's probably been a couple years ago. And I had really good luck on, I think it's the 3-inch size. These are a little bit bigger. They call this the 4-inch Pro Series. This is in purple shiner. So the top is kind of like this grayish smoke black. And then when you hold it like on its side and on the bottom, you can see here it's got this like purpley iridescence to it. It's a really neat color. I like it. Now, will this color catch fish? I sure don't know. It's not a color I throw, but dang, that looks good. You know, it looks like a smoky little shad. The shad here have that kind of black back to them. I don't know. I like that color. This one they call Electric Shad. Kind of the same thing, that smoky, but it's got this blue iridescent glitter in it. And then same thing when you flip it over, it's got kind of this blue iridescent glitter and highlight in it. Really neat color. Let me take one out here. You can see the shape of this lure. Kind of bigger in the front, and it kind of tapers down to this little, I guess, kind of like club tail. So you look at it from the side, it's got kind of that flat bottom. You can see where it's a poured kind of laminate look to it. Flat bottom on it, and it does even, I just noticed this in the glare, look at that. Even says Xzone on it, that's pretty cool. The top has like the small black and the large black flake with kind of that green iridescent-y look, and then that yellow. Again, perch, green sunfish, even bluegill. I mean, awesome bluegill pond imitation. That's why I got this. So that's a good one. 4 inches now. I feel like that's a good size. It's got enough meat to it. I don't like the real tiny drop shot stuff, but I don't want something huge. You know, it's still finesse. So again, I'm not a drop shot master, but I like that size. And then last, again, is the Bass Candy. I showed you those in the Ned rig lure there. Again, that green with the flake in it, and then you flip it around, you can really see that iridescent on these. they've done a really good job with those cool iridescent colors. And you might think, oh, that's just a gimmick. When you get those in the sun, especially the glitter with that iridescence, when that flashes in the sun, it makes a difference. It makes an awesome color. Brando and I were talking about that this year. I was throwing that the Missile Baits 48 wacky rig, watermelon red flake, and that flake in the sun was just, it was insane how much like flash you could see it was putting off. But anyway, next. Well, this is what I had in mind for some small finesse jig trailers. This is a muscleback craw, 3.25 inch. Really nice profile to it because you can see the body is thick enough where you can run this up on a hook. You know, some of the, like the finesse trailers, they're real thin. Then when you get them over that lead keeper, it just rips them in half and it doesn't hold them and they pull off. But you can see good round body, but good claw size here. And these claws come together, so you have to tear them apart. And they've got kind of like ripples and a ridge there. So of course they do it's more of like a flap instead of a quick kick, kind of that flap. But they look really good. And let me show you, I happen to have one of my, this is one of the Cumberland's new flipping jigs. Let me show you here. You know, this is not going to be perfect. I'm trying to do this in the camera while talking to you all. I don't even know if this is the right way up or down, but y'all are going to get the picture because once I do that, and it's okay if you run it on there, I always go err on the side of too much because if you do that, you just put your fingers on each side of it, give it a little push down and rip it, and then it's going to line up straight every single time. Whereas if you put it on too short and you have to take it off and rip it again, you rip that plastic. But there we go. That is an awesome little compact profile. I just took this flipping jig, cut the skirt down a little short, and if you want a compact jig like that, you're flipping and pitching in a small lake, you don't want a huge jig. Look at that. I mean, that looks awesome. That's a green pumpkin. I forget what their flipping and pitching jig is over at Cumberland, but good looking jig. And with that on the back, you know, you've got the trailer back there. And what color was this? Oh, the green pumpkin blue that I said I like. I really like that color in their jigs. Oh, the small adrenaline craw. I'm going to show you some of those. I caught some fish on that as a jig trailer in this color, but really like those. That is the little finesse muscleback craw, and that's the first color, that green pumpkin blue flake. I also got some border craw, which kind of reminds me of like the Falcon Lake craw in the Strike King series. Kind of your green pumpkin with the gold and red flake, and then the bottom is kind of that burgundy deep red. Mimic a crawfish, good color. I grabbed a color they call red bug. You flip that around. I forget what lake it is, but there's a lake where that June bug red does awesome down south. I think it was a deal where G-Man was talking about that. If you don't have this color, like, you're not catching fish on that lake. I don't know. I fish mainly in the Midwest here, so I couldn't tell you about fishing down south. Okay, Big Limit. This color is absolutely beautiful. I bet this would be an absolute smallie kicker. You can see it's got the hair flake and the watermelon there, kind of that see-through watermelon green pumpkin. Then on the bottom, it's got that kind of purpley, it's more of a pink with like a silver flash in it. Green pumpkin-y watermelon. Then you flip it over and it's got that pinkish purple with like the silver flake. Beautiful, beautiful color. I bet the smallies will gobble that all sorts up. Here in the Midwest, a black and blue is an absolute staple. So I've got the black with blue flake. That's just black and blue flake all the way through it. And then I also got black and blue laminate. So that's going to be kind of like your two-tone. So the top of it is black with blue flake. You can see there your regular black with blue flake. You flip it over, it's going to be that blue plastic with blue flake through it. It's got a little bit of black in it as well. Super neat color, black and blue here. We've got those dark craws that have like the blue on the bottom. Black and blue does awesome in dirty water here in the Midwest. So if you're in the Midwest, I would highly advise to throw some black and blue. I guess cat's out of the bag now, but that's what they call this, purple shadow. And look at this color. Absolute beauty. So it's kind of that laminate again, black with like some purple flake. Flip it over and it's got that deep grape purple color to it with the flake in it as well. Oh, that color looks awesome. Now I know if my guy Nick, Fat Boy Fishing, is watching, this is one of his favorite colors. Sprayed grass, absolute beautiful color. Pretty much like your watermelon with purple, black, and like a green flake on the bottom. Beautiful color, good for clear water. Okeechobee craw. So you've got your green pumpkin with almost like a green pumpkin in the bottom where that kind of green pumpkin mixes with the blue. It almost gives like a green pincer look to it. And then flip it over and that's where it's got that blue with the highlights, the flakes in it. Looks really good. Okeechobee craw works good around here. Randizzle loves it. Okay, next up is a large finesse worm. A large finesse worm. What do they call that? An oxymoron? A double negative? Dummy Debo. Okay, it's a large finesse worm. So what I mean is it's that finesse worm style, but you can see it's bulked up. So it's not like a little tiny, Zoom finesse worm. This color is this, yeah, Southern Sip. And I am absolutely in love with this color. The top is like a black, and then it goes into like a violet in the middle, and then almost like a light tan, brownish on the bottom. I mean, this color is absolutely beautiful. Look at it in the light. That purple is just, woo! Like I said, black and purple, I think it's highly underrated. This color is absolutely ridiculous. Southern Sip in that 6-inch, a little bit larger worm. So to me, this is like a summer worm thing when you want, you know, still kind of a finesse technique. You're dragging a worm, you know, on like a Carolina rig, larger shaky head, something like that, where you want some bulk. So that fish, if it's going to expend energy, a lot of times they're going to want a bigger meal. So if you're dragging a big worm around, who am I kidding? I got these specifically for the Inu rig. If you're not throwing the Inu rig, you're missing out. Hottest rig out there. Catching slaunches everywhere. I'm joking. Everybody's done a video on it. Anyway, we've got this color here. What is this one? Bass Candy. Bass Candy again, so you can see it's got that that watermelon-y green color. It's got the flake in it, and that bottom's like that pearlish, and it has like a purple highlight through it. Beautiful color. They're doing really good on their colors over there at Xzone. I'm a big fan of some colorways they got. Like that one. This one is kind of similar to the sprayed grass. It's essentially your watermelon candy. Yep, so it's your watermelon with the purple, green, almost like a Mardi Gras type color into it. Last but not least, you know I'm a huge fan of the two-tone colors. This is Green Pumpkin Junebug. So again, this is a laminate, meaning it's two different colors put together. So the top is Green Pumpkin. The bottom is your kind of stereotypical blackish purple Junebug. So you get the best of both worlds. I love colors like this. Tramp Stamp in Reaction Innovations. Superbug, I think it is. In Missile Baits. Nirvana, I think it is in the 6-inch plastics. But those colors where you kind of get both colors, one on top, one on bottom, I'm a big fan of that. Okay, now this is a new size bait for them this year. So you've seen me throw the Adrenaline Craw before. Really like the action on it. It's got those flappers. If you haven't seen the large size, it's got those two flappers on the back. It almost reminds you of like a Rage Menace sort of deal to it. Mixed with like the Zoom, what is it, the Zoom Z-Bug or something? Gosh, I can't even remember what that thing was called. But you can see it's got the two flappers there. It's got the little flange deals there that catch water. So this thing really, really kicks. But the deal with this is they made it in a smaller finesse size. I put one of these on a chatterbait and it looks ridiculous. This is the 3.5-inch Adrenaline Craw Junior. That's in that purple color. The purple shadow that I like so much. Black and purple. You can see black on top, purple flake on the bottom. That color is sick. And again, I got some other colors because you could throw this on a swim jig on the back of it. You could rig it this way. Oh, and there we go right there. These are actually a swim bait head, but I've been putting a little skirt on these, fishing it kind of like a swim jig. And I tell you what, you can see I rigged that horizontally this way, sideways. So when this kicks, the tail's going to kick like that, this way like a fish would. I'm telling you what, that looks good as heck. Again, you know, kind of like the Rage Menace, the same way you would rig one like that. It is a craw bait, but works perfect that way. Looks awesome on a little swim jig like that. I would trim it up, but this one I just kind of left the skirt a little bit long with some purple and white in it. Love it. So that was the pearl color, your white for like the white swim jig, shad imitation on a chatterbait. What else? Got some black and blue flake. Pretty self-explanatory there. Awesome on a little finesse jig too, this smaller size. Speaking of the watermelon red flake, you got a sunny day, clear water. This color is awesome. I don't throw it enough. People talk about it a lot. I don't throw the watermelon red enough. Usually I'll just go to like a green pumpkin. But I tell you what, like I said, in the sun, that red really glitters and stands out. Notice the pattern here, green pumpkin, blue flake. Really, really like that color. I think they absolutely nailed that as far as like the blues. Even like a green pumpkin purple to mimic bluegill. Awesome. And then again, that border craw kind of looks like the Falcon Lake craw with that brown gold flake and then the red on bottom. So those are the 3.5-inch Adrenaline Craws, the small version. Really, really, really digging that one. And then also sticking with the finesse stuff, this is another small finesse beaver style bait that I've used on finesse jigs. So like the War Eagle heavy finesse jigs, any of those finesse jigs like that where you want a little bit smaller profile, these are awesome. Nice, small, compact. You can see there compared to that little muscle back jig, you could just bite the, you know, I don't know, ½ inch or so of this off and put that on there. Looks great. Great for colder water where you don't want a bunch of action. These just kind of barely move back there. It's got the, you know, like the little claw deals here, but you can finesse, do like a little finesse Texas rig of this. Carolina rig these. I mean, heck, you can even put this on an, you know, net EWG if you wanted. But for me, I got these specifically for finesse jig trailers. This is the black and blue. Again, 3.5-inch Adrenaline Bug Junior. So again, they've had the Adrenaline Bug out. This is a smaller finesse size. Again, I got that summer craw color, green pumpkin with the chartreuse pepper flake in it. The big limit color again, that color is something else. And last but not least, the purple shadow. I couldn't not get the black and purple. That is absolutely killer. Okay, last but not least, I've got a couple sizes of their swim baits, their Swammers. I was actually even able to get out just, what was that, 2 weeks ago maybe now, and catch some fish on it. The first one I was throwing was this one, the IU or AU. I don't know how you say that. AYU. But it's got like this green pumpkin with like a little bit of silver glitter in it. Flip it over the bottom side, it's kind of this creamy, pearly white. That color has worked really well for me around here. I don't know if it's mimicking bass, like, you know, small, largemouth, something else. I don't know. We don't have any of those AU around here. But a cool color. Their Swammers are neat. It's got a flat top there. You can see it's kind of segmented, and that helps kind of that body move side to side. But it's got your, you know, your larger club paddle tail back there. But it's a good size. It's got a good size and meat to it up front. So when you put this on an underspin or a swim jig, the nose of it and stuff just doesn't rip out and fall apart. So I've liked that. I was throwing it on an underspin, like an owner flashy swimmer, I think is what it was. This one they call sexy shad. So you can see the bottom is like almost like a smoky with some chartreuse flake in it. Flip it around and you've got your highlight kind of iridescent blue to mimic your sexy shad color. I like that. Good color from them. Look familiar. That's that perch color again, that green iridescent on back, the orange yellow belly. Perch, green sunfish, bluegill, mimics all those great. Now this one is the pearl silver flake, just what it sounds like. Pearl color with silver flake through it. That's what they call this one, just straight up bluegill color, but around here those bluegill have like that green pumpkin-y brown and that purple in it, and that's exactly what you're getting there. Green pumpkinish with a pearl glitter. It looks like it might have some black flake in it maybe too. I mean, absolute perfect match for a bluegill around here, kind of that yellow, brownish belly. Some of them will have bright orange, but a lot of them are pretty dull around here. Good color. That's one that I throw a lot. In the Havoc Pit Boss, I threw that green pumpkin purple a ton. That was it for the 3.5 inch. I also got some of the 4-inch Swammers. This is called Dirty Shad. So again, kind of that creamy, a little bit lighter colored belly with a gold flake in it. And you flip it over, or drop it. Flip it over, it's a little bit darker with like a copper and black flake in it. I suppose you could use that for like a green shiner imitation too. Good color. I got your Tennessee shad, so that kind of dark brown top. The bottom's kind of like a smoky silver with silver flake in it. I got the electric blue chartreuse. This is like, I think what, parrot a lot of times they call it in the crankbaits. That blue with like a light bluish glitter. And you flip it around the bottom, it's that green neon-y color with, this has like a blue flake in it. Cool color, pretty bright, dirty water. Two more. This one I did catch some fish on, the Warmouth. Big fan of it. It's got that green pumpkin with the blue flake in it. And you flip it over and it's like a chartreusey lime belly. I was throwing it in really clear water. I should have went to something more natural. Actually that day, Randizzle was fishing a white swim jig and caught like 12 fish to my 4. He caught 3 times more fish than me, and I was fishing the same spots. I was throwing an underspin versus his swim jig. The last one I got, chartreuse pearl. Ooh, that baby's bright. That is a very bright chartreuse with a silver flake. Flip it over, and it's like a pearl belly with a silver flake. So that is it. Comment below and let me know what you all think of the Xzone lures. I've become a big fan. Relatively new company. I saw them first on Instagram. There's a number of people that I see using them now. I did notice Brandon Polinick is sponsored by them. I think Carl Jokumsen or Jokumsen, he's sponsored by them too. But really good plastics. So comment below and let me know what your experience has been. And what your favorite one is. I would like to hear it. Now today's subscribed fishing friend is Fishing the Lone Star. Good guy. I know he uses the Xzone stuff. I've seen pictures of his before. Awesome pictures on Instagram and stuff. Super good guy, but really digging the Xzone stuff. He was one of the guys, like I said, that I saw on Instagram posting about their stuff. So comment below and let me know what you think. Thank you everybody else out there for continuing to watch, support. I appreciate it a ton. Right now, of course, I will have all of these linked below. Tackle Warehouse has the big sale right now, the Black Friday sale. I'll leave all that link below so you can get the links, go to the colors. I'll leave all that. Hopefully it'll make it easier for you. Of course, you know, I've partnered with Tackle Warehouse, so anytime you put in an order and use my links, a little bit of that goes back to me. So I appreciate it. But enough for me. It's late. I need to edit. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time...